7 most disturbing diving videos caught on camera. Chat, if you want to go diving, maybe rethink your choices after watching this video. Boom. Let's watch it. Put your reacting caps on. Let me see one reacting in the chat.
He was left completely alone in total darkness. What would you do?
Now, I know we already watched the video about caving. I would rather go scuba diving than caving. Or diving like this, then caving. Then caving, then caving, then caving. I would rather go diving like this than caving. Can I get a retweet? Caving? No! I don't want to cave, bro. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to.
You found yourself trapped in an underwater cave with no light.
What the heck was that? What was that noise?
And no way out.
That was a video. Trapped in total darkness. Lock in.
Diver Josh Brachley, one of the key figures in the legendary rescue of the Thai cave boys, went missing during a dive in no.
What are you doing in my swamp? Get it? Cause Shrek.
Cave in Tennessee.
Nice.
He and his team were exploring a complex underwater cave system.
Okay, but like water is beautiful though. Caving is not beautiful. Water is awesome. Because you can see fishies. I love fishies. Chat! I have a 10-gallon that I need to clean out. Let me know what type of fish I should get.
When he suddenly disappeared.
Chat, I'm thinking like guppies.
When it became clear that Josh had not surfaced,
guppies.
His teammates immediately raised the alarm, and an urgent rescue operation was launched.
Isn't there a way to breathe underwater though? Somehow, some way? If you're like
Sorensen, one of the most experienced cave divers in the United States, renowned for rescuing divers in
Wait, that's kind of cool though. That is cool. Look at it. That is cool. That is cool. I'm only doing strictly freshwater.
Extreme conditions was called in.
For a fish.
He flew in from Florida on short notice.
Like,
does the dive without
does that not look cool?
In the murky water, where visibility is almost non-existent, the only life.
Yeah! Yo! I really need a job, don't I? Who's trying to employ me? Let me know. Come on, Twitch, get 5. Helmet cam.
He doesn't lose his way and can make it back safely.
Okay.
He methodically searches every tunnel and narrow passage of the roughly 400-foot cave system. His only companions
for my urine.
His air supply, the beam of his flashlight, and absolute silence. After nearly
now that is freaky. I would rather cave dive than this in this situation. Well, I don't know. Because water, you could drink it. What are you gonna drink if you're cave diving? See, I'm opening my third eye in this situation. Y'all, most people don't, but what are you gonna drink when you're cave diving?
An hour of searching.
Feel me?
He notices ripples on the surface of the water.
Oh shoot!
A possible sign of an air pocket.
Oh shoot!
He heads toward it and finds Josh alive.
Joshua. Hold on, let me turn it up. Wow.
Josh had been sitting in a sealed air dome, completely in the dark, with no communication and no way to escape on his own. Now,
wow!
Must act with precision. The rescue diver
grabs
hold of the white guideline Sorensen laid, and together, following it carefully, they make their way out. Above the surface...
Not gonna lie, that deserves a clap. I'm gonna be honest. That deserves a clap because, how long was he in there?
A team of fellow divers, local rescuers, and Josh's friends wait anxiously, barely daring to breathe. Despite the danger, the confined space, and the near absence of hope, Ed Sorensen proved himself a true hero, quite literally finding light at the end of the tunnel.
That's like, yeah, that's a good quote. That quote was for this
situation.
Gang chat. The underwater screams.
A young woman named Brianna uploaded a disturbing video to her TikTok.
Like, dude, that water looks mad clear, no?
Dive. Most of the content revolves around
look at that water, dude.
Hobby, freediving in the clear, scenic waters off the coast of Florida.
There'll be water in the chat.
There's nothing unusual about her videos. Well, except for
she gonna hear some people scream?
Brianna
some crazy stuff?
What was supposed to be a routine dive and captured something genuinely unsettling.
Look at the fishy. Chat, what are y'all doing if y'all are going into a creepy cave under the water while you're trying to hold your breath and you hear some people screaming underwater? What are y'all doing? Let me know. It almost sounds like a well. Is it haunted? Heck no, brother. But that looks cool. How do they have grass under the water?
She suddenly begins to panic. Loud, eerie cries can be heard around her, sounding as if someone is screaming for help. Clearly shaken, she rushes back to the surface, trying to make sense of what she just heard. After a brief pause, she dives again, determined to figure out w's going on.
What happened?
This time, there are no sounds at all.
How? She getting pranked? She getting pranked? She might be getting pranked. I did another run through after coming to the surface and hearing no one. I was reading that, dude. I was reading that, bro. Didn't hear anything the second time. Chat, let me know if y'all hear anything. Ears wide open right here. Look at the little fish.
Confused and disturbed, Brianna posts the strange and unexplained footage on TikTok. As expected, many
look at the little fishy.
Y'all
love the water, bro.
In response, she uploads another video, this time featuring the raw, unedited footage straight from her GoPro.
So, people are asking what camera I use. GoPro 7 works perfectly fine for me. I cracked it a little bit, but I use a case. Definitely not a voiceover though, so I'm going to show you the video straight out of my GoPro. Just like how I recorded it. So you can hear.
Oh. We good, bro. We good off that, dude.
In the original clip, she can be seen swimming among debris that appears to be part of a shipwreck.
Ancient debris, shout out Minecraft.
She may have recorded the final, haunting cries of someone who perished in that wreck. Paranormal or not, one thing is certain. Those underwater screams are deeply unsettling.
The unsolved disappearance of Ben.
The fate of Ben McDaniel is one of the most tragic and mysterious stories in the world of diving.
Like, that looks cool, bro, as long as I know where I'm going.
And grew up
Let me get a retweet.
Supportive family. But as an adult, his life began to unravel rapidly. His marriage ended, his construction business went bankrupt, and he found himself owing more than $50,000 to the IRS. The hardest blow came with the sudden death of his younger brother.
Do your taxes, chat.
Who suffered a fatal stroke.
Retweet.
Hoping to help their son cope with the emotional fallout, Ben's parents invited him to stay at their home near the coast. Ben accepted, deciding to step back and reset. During this period, he began frequenting Vortex Spring, a popular recreation spot, especially among divers.
I probably won't get betas, I'm gonna be honest.
Underwater cave system. Access to its most dangerous sections was restricted by a gate, beyond which only divers with proper certification and special permission were allowed to go. According to other divers, however, Ben often ignored these restrictions. He would open the gate and venture into the prohibited parts of the cave. One evening, after refilling his tanks and signing the dive log, he made another dive and never returned to the surface.
What do you fill your tanks with? Air?
2 days later, his car was still sitting in the parking lot, raising alarm.
Oh wow.
Police found his dog at home, hungry and unattended, while all of his diving gear was missing, pointing to the possibility that he had remained inside the cave. A large-scale search followed. Highly experienced cave divers explored the system, but found no trace of him. Water tests showed no signs of decomposition. Search dogs were deployed in the wooded area around the spring.
Do they have search fish?
Yet they detected no human scent. Ben's parents...
Why did I even ask that, dude? Why would they have search fish?
Parents refused to give up. They offered a $10,000 reward for any information,
That'd be fishy.
Later increasing the amount, all without success.
Dang.
Tragically, during one of the search missions, a volunteer diver lost his life. After that, the McDaniels withdrew the reward, realizing that continuing the search could endanger others. Later, a female diver working on a documentary uncovered Ben's journals and personal writings, but even these provided no clear answers about what had happened. Was he trapped inside the cave after violating safety rules? Or did he stage his disappearance to escape debt and start a new life? The mystery of Ben McDaniel's disappearance
That's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea, faking your death.
Remains unsolved. One thing, however, is certain.
Obviously, if you owe money to the IRS. I'm going to stop talking now. I love my life.
His passion for diving led to devastating consequences.
Wait, so did he die face to face with...
On August 27th,
Oh,
2015, near Cape Town, a group of divers set out for a dive at Skipcop Reef. The team included Francois Smuts, Renee
Face-to-face with a great
Nell,
white.
and Eric Fury. Conditions were ideal. Calm seas with only a light swell. Despite poor visibility, the divers decided to check whether the site was diveable. One of the divers descended to a depth of about 62 feet. As he scanned the area, he turned his head
too bad.
and came face to face with a great white shark less than 3 feet away.
Where? Where? Oh! Why is it
He
so
reacted
tiny?
instantly, jabbing it with his spear gun. The shark pulled back, but moments later it turned around, dropped its pectoral fins in an aggressive posture, and charged again. The diver fended it off a second time with the spear gun. The shark disappeared, and he immediately began an emergency ascent. His air supply was running low.
Aura. Not gonna lie, if you fight off a shark, you have aura. That is aura. Very scary, though. He's looking at me funny. What, dude?
White! Pas op voor die white!
When he reached the surface,
It was right
he
there!
realized the shark had followed him upward, an extremely rare behavior. He began shouting to warn the others. Eric surfaced and quickly climbed onto the boat. Francois,
Hurry!
however, was still underwater.
You're gonna die,
A few
dude!
seconds later, he surfaced unharmed,
Nice.
completely unaware of what had just happened.
Nice.
Spijt dit om even zien uit mijn amper geëerd.
Get your feet out of the water, dude! What are you doing?
Waar is hij nou, man? Ik heb toch gesteekt toen, maar even mij af.
Later, he mentioned hearing some kind of noise nearby, possibly the shark. The team decided to leave the area immediately, relocating to a spot roughly 8 miles away. Diving continued, but
Yo, brother, you best believe if I'm in the water with a great white shark, brother, I'm not getting back in the water, dude. Okay.
everyone remained tense for the rest of the day. It was an encounter none of them would ever forget, and one that came dangerously close to ending in tragedy.
Holy moly. Lost that sea.
In the summer of 2016, a diver named Jacob Childs joined a group dive off the coast of Queensland, Australia.
That looks awesome, dude.
He later uploaded all the footage to his YouTube channel, called Jakey. The dive boat stopped about 35 miles offshore. Jacob entered the water second to last. Almost immediately after the dive began, he accidentally let go of the safety line.
Uh-oh.
At first, he assumed he could simply swim back to the boat.
Them waves
But
are
as he
pushing.
approached, he realized the line had already been pulled aboard.
Them waves are killer.
Before he had time to react, a strong surface current carried him away from the vessel. To make matters worse, the boat's captain had gone fishing while the rest of the divers were still underwater. By the time the group resurfaced and noticed Jacob was missing, he was already far beyond visible range.
Oh, no.
Completely alone in the open ocean, 35 miles from the nearest shore. Distance wasn't even the main problem. The water temperature was around 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
Not dangerously cold, but cool enough to gradually drain energy and lead to fatigue over time. It was late afternoon, and the sun was beginning to set. At one point, a rescue plane flew over him twice, but failed to spot him, even though Jacob had an inflatable signal buoy. He knew that once darkness fell...
Oh, dude. How y'all feeling if y'all get lost at sea? How y'all feeling, bro? I'm gonna be pretty scared. I might panic and then drown and then die in GTA, but that's how I'm
chances of being found would drop dramatically. He began recording video to document what was happening.
Well, the sun's going down.
Dude, is he gonna die?
For about an hour. But obviously I couldn't keep up.
Trying to swim 35 miles to shore would have been far too risky. He could easily misjudge his strength and exhaust himself. He even noticed a fishing boat in the distance and attempted to swim toward it, but quickly realized it.
Is he gonna have to sleep while floating?
It was far too far away. Drifting too far from the point where he was last seen could also reduce his chances of rescue, as search teams might not look in the right area. Meanwhile, the water continued to sap his strength. The sun kept sinking, and the situation grew more tense by the minute. Fortunately, Jacob was experienced enough not to panic. He understood that the most important thing was to stay in one place, avoid unnecessary movement, and conserve energy. That decision saved his life. After more than 6 hours in open water, a rescue helicopter finally spotted him.
There's a plane coming back. There's a rescue boat.
Bang!
Way over there. Helpful. That. Oh no, that is a fucking. That's a rescue helicopter over there.
It's so dark.
Right.
Soon after, he was safely pulled aboard a rescue boat. He was exhausted and shaken, but unharmed. No injuries, no
Not gonna lie, if I'm him, I'm never getting in the ocean again. Can I get a repeat?
consequences. Just an incredible survival story he would remember for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that is Orga. That is Orga. A proposal that turned tragic.
He descended beneath the surface with a ring in his hand. She was filming everything, happy and completely unsuspecting. Just a few minutes later, everything went wrong.
Is the ring gonna get
in
eaten by a
September
shark?
2019, Stephen Weber and his girlfriend Kenesha Antoine flew to the paradise island of
Ooh, a little
Pemba
fishy.
for what was meant to be a dream vacation. Stephen had been preparing for this trip for a long time because he planned to propose. They were staying at the Manta Resort. The hotel was known for its ocean views and sun-soaked terraces, but its main feature was an underwater room with an almost 360-degree panoramic view. That was exactly where Stephen decided to make his unusual proposal. He put on a mask, dove down to the window of the underwater room, and unfolded a note in a transparent waterproof bag in front of the glass.
I can't hold my breath long enough
read,
to tell you everything I love about you, but everything I love about you is holy cringe, dude. Just get on one knee, bro. You don't gotta go to this far of an extent to propose to your shawty, dude. Just get on one knee, dude.
I can't hold my breath long enough to tell you how much I love you, but with each day, I love you more. Kenesha continued filming, still not understanding what was happening. Then Stephen flipped the note over. On the other side it said, "Will you marry me?" He showed the engagement ring and swam upward to get her answer.
Bang! Taken by a shark.
What does that say? Oh, it's so cute.
Bang! Taken by a whale. Bang! Taken by a massive octopus. And bye-bye ring. Why is she laughing?
Kenesha stopped filming and rushed to the surface. She wanted to say yes as quickly as possible, but when she looked over the edge, Stephen was nowhere to be seen. She ran onto the deck. He wasn't there either. Stephen disappeared somewhere between the moment he showed the ring and his attempt to surface. The realization came almost immediately.
Bro died.
Something had gone wrong. Kenesha began calling for help.
No.
Hotel staff and guests rushed in. The search took time.
The
When Stephen
ring!
was found, he was drifting with the current. Resort employees tried to help him on shore, but it was already too late.
Hey,
it was later
baby
determined
fish.
that Stephen had misjudged how long he could remain underwater without air. In the footage, his hand can be seen trembling at the moment he holds the ring. He wanted to create the perfect moment, and that choice led to a tragic outcome.
R.I.P., man. The Point Nemo experience.
At first, it looks like just a blogger floating in the open ocean. But
I've
it's
seen
not
this
that
guy.
simple. He claims that he ended up at Point Nemo, the location on Earth where you are closer to outer space
Wasn't this guy's videos fake?
than to any piece of land. And how he supposedly got there is a real adventure. These are coordinates where there is nothing at all. Only ocean stretching thousands of miles in every direction. The nearest land is
Oh, that a shark!
1,700 miles away, and even that consists of uninhabited islands. No commercial planes fly overhead, no
Sunsets
cruise
are
ships
awesome,
pass
though.
through, and in general, almost no one ever goes there. Now here's the key part. A popular TikTok blogger named Madzak claimed that he reached the spot himself and documented everything on camera.
Give us a full tour of Point Nemo? Guys, I don't know if I want to get...
I know that. Wasn't his videos fake?
tripping, but let's go. Oh my gosh, you guys, this thing is way bigger up close. It looks like this whole thing is just covered in
so much algae.
particles. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. And as you guys can probably tell, there's just nothing out here. I don't know if I should climb up that and try to sleep on it tonight, or what's the best strategy here, but
How is he so handsome if he's stuck in the ocean?
I want to go look and
Sus.
see what it looks like underneath. So let's go. Guys, I decided to not go up on Point Nemo. I don't want to risk anything. It's sharp. It's dangerous. I'm just still out here swimming.
So you're just gonna
I don't
float
really
in
want to
there.
risk anything else. I just need to make it back home. I took my life jacket off just so I can swim better. But the current took it, so now I'm not really sure what to do for that. But we just gotta we just gotta keep swimming.
According to him, he assembled a team of 15 people, and the journey took 2
How does he have internet out there, dude?
weeks. They changed 7 routes, stopped at offshore
Oh, wow.
platforms and fishing stations, and were accompanied by professionals,
Fake for
fishermen,
real?
technicians,
Sus.
and workers who actually operate in these remote waters. After 2 weeks, they allegedly reached the exact location, Point Nemo. Complete calm, nothing around. No land, no visible horizon, just endless water. It looked truly impressive, as if they had achieved the impossible. Madzak showed footage of himself swimming in the area, talking about how it felt, considering whether to spend the night there, and even filming what the ocean looks like from below. Everything appeared so realistic
Oh, where else would you spend the night, bruh?
that thousands of viewers
type of
believed
question?
it, that this was the first ordinary person, not a scientist, to reach the center of the ocean. But after some time, it turned out that things were not what they seemed. Madzak later admitted that it was an experiment, not a real journey. He wanted to see how people would react to the idea, and he was right. The video went viral, and many genuinely believed it. The reason is simple. In reality, reaching Point Nemo is practically impossible.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
It is a restricted area used for controlled activities. There are no passenger routes, and even military vessels rarely appear there. Civilian access is effectively closed, so the entire story turned out not to be a documentary report, but a carefully staged, creative setup, executed so convincingly that the video spread across the internet.
Facts. W video chat. Pretty good video chat. Shout out Chezoid. This guy right here. Shout out Chezoid. W Chezoid. Let me get a W Chezoid in the chat. W video.